Glad to talk to you regarding the tourism. At the beginning, I should say that it is a very comprehensive and a big issue within the United Nations. We cannot discuss and provide all our views for half an hour, 1 hour on this issue. But in the beginning, I should say that tourism does not belong to any race, religion, country, or ethnicity. First, the second, it is unjustifiable under any goals, and we deny and we condemn any kind of terrorism we are occurring by whom. First. The second, I would like to say that it is true in the history there was some isolated incidents of terrorism have happened in different parts of the world and different part of history of our history. But as a global strategy, as a massive war against humanity, against civilization, it started before September 11, mostly in Afghanistan, when Afghanistan was captured by Al Qaeda and Taliban in 1996, and Afghanistan became a center, a capital for international terrorism. International terrorism had a shelter, had a breathing ground in Afghanistan, and they launched their plans, their strategy from Afghanistan, and nobody listened to the Afghan people, to our complaint that the terrorist activities in Afghanistan and the region was going on till the September 11. After September 11, unfortunately, when September 11 happens, the international community, the United States, they came to the conclusion they had to deal with terrorism seriously in order to solve this problem. And regarding the United Nations, I should say that that's true till now. The United Nations couldn't come to an agreement to have a comprehensive convention or to have to determine what's exactly the terrorism. But as Ambassador Kamal said, there's a lot of protocols, a lot of conventions dealing with terrorism, and the Security Council resolutions on terrorism. And in the end of 2001, when the Security Council decided and to act against Taliban and with the international community, because Taliban harbored terrorism, Taliban refused to surrender Osama bin Laden to the international community after the bombing, and Kenya after bombing here in the World Trade Center 1994. And that's why it was a moral obligation of the international community, Security Council of the United Nations, go to Afghanistan and just to remove Taliban and Al Qaeda from Afghanistan, because Afghanistan was the center and the capital of international terrorism. And besides that, I would like to say that there, of course, a lot when we study terrorism, we should go about their motivation, about their ideology, about their resources, about their finances, about their breathing ground, or about the main reason why, how the bunch of people with their ideologies, they can come to a country like Afghanistan and to encourage other people, abuse their feeling because they are uneducated, they are underdeveloped, because they have difficulties in economic in their life. And we have to study together and to have a comprehensive approach. And I believe that Al Qaeda and Taliban, and they are still a threat to international community, still a threat to the peace and stability in the region in Afghanistan, and still they have some shelter in the region in Afghanistan. And I'm glad that right now Afghanistan and Pakistan, they have the best relationship in their history. I believe we have a confidence among our political leadership, and I'm confident that Afghanistan, Pakistan, with the help of the United States international community, we can address this issue. We can do more to defeat terrorism in that region.
Thank you very much. Let's start taking questions straight away because of shortage of time. Lehigh, we'll take 2 questions, one after the other from each of the universities, and answer them together. We are starting with Lehigh. Can you come out with 2 of your questions, please?
Mr. Ambassador, thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. As a Marine Corps second lieutenant entering training, what advice would you give a platoon commander, that's about 40 men, stationed on the ground in Afghanistan? Specifically, what would you do to engage the local population to promote security and combat terrorism or terrorism acts? Please be as specific as possible, including cultural mores, tribal customs, regional relations, anything you can think of.
Okay, second question.
Mr. Ambassador, it's a pleasure speaking to you. What has the Afghan government done to control and contain terrorism within your country?
Okay, two questions. The first is, what should a platoon commander do in order to learn the local customs? And number two, what are you doing yourself about terrorism? Why are you throwing all the burden on the American platoon commander?
Thank you. I would like to start from the second question, answer the second question, and then go to the first questions. When we see the Afghanistan, we see what the government of Afghanistan did or doing to bring peace in Afghanistan and defeat terrorism in Afghanistan. We have to go back in 2001. Where was Afghanistan and where is now? In 2001 in Afghanistan, we didn't. The people of Afghanistan were deprived from their fundamental rights. There were no school, there were no hospitals, there were no any elementary condition for the life of free person in Afghanistan. We didn't have a parliament, we didn't have an elected president, we didn't have government offices, we didn't have security forces, we didn't have a national army, we didn't have police. We had nothing. We started from zero. And right now we have a lot of achievements in Afghanistan beside the challenges which you have right now first. And I mean the people of Afghanistan, the government of Afghanistan did in doing its best with the help by the international community to strengthen its capability to act against terrorism and all other challenges which is going to help terrorism to be active in Afghanistan. And in that regard, I can say right now we have a national army which is actively participating in the war against terrorism. We have police forces which is dealing with security of Afghanistan. Of course, it should be improved. We have a strong national security forces which are dealing with terrorism. And we have a lot of achievement. Of course, still we need the assistance of the international community to help our forces to be much more stronger. First, the second, regarding the burden on the American soldiers in Afghanistan, I would say that we should first strengthen the national army in that village, on that part. We should have our police in that part. So the United States, the international community should help the national army and police of Afghanistan to be more active in the war against terrorism. They should help them, because they should be, and I have to say that with the fighting terrorism, it is not just militarily, but we have to address the other political and in particular economic situation of the people of Afghanistan to create a condition for their economic survival. In order they should have a job to do and to earn legitimate income for their living, in order to not be recruited by the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and other criminal groups.
I'd like to add, in response to the first question, Pakistan is sitting next door to Afghanistan, and the relations between the two countries have been close over centuries, because there are contacts which are family contacts, which are linguistic contacts, which are cultural contacts. Afghanistan has ruled Pakistan for centuries also in the past. And so the links are very deep and abiding. And so there is some understanding in Pakistan of the ethos of the Afghan. The Afghan is a very noble person with great traditions of hospitality and great tribal pride in himself. If you want to go to Afghanistan, you have to get into the skin of that tribal pride. The Afghan does not basically like judgmental foreigners. So please don't go to Afghanistan to try to teach them how to suck eggs. Their civilization is far older than US civilization. And so, if anything, you